And welcome back, Commander. Today we have a new chapter in Red Alert 3.
Premier Chardenko continues to push his Soviet forces into Western Europe, seizing control of key regions left behind by the retreating Allies. Great Britain now stands as the last European nation yet to fill the jackboot of Soviet aggression. That might be short-lived, however, as sources tell us that a vast Soviet armada has been spotted off the northern coast of France.
Commander, I'm Field Marshal Robert Bingham, Chief of the Allied Military Command. I've been told that you're a very capable officer. Well, let's hope this assessment is correct, as all our senior commanders are now fighting in Europe, leaving the defense of Great Britain entirely in your hands. I'd like you to meet Lieutenant Ava. She will be your intel officer and communications liaison.
Glad to have you on board, sir. Field Marshal, the President is ready for you.
Mr. President, I'd like you to meet our new commander on the ground.
Greetings, Commander. You ready to send those commies running back to their mommies? I sure hope so, because if you don't stop them over there, the only thing standing between those godless Reds and the US of A is going to be one little ocean.
I absolutely agree, Mr. President. We cannot allow the Soviets to secure a foothold in Great Britain. The fate of the free world depends upon it.
Soviets have conquered much of Europe with brute force. Now, they are trying to invade England by attacking a virtually defenseless civilian city, Brighton Beach. Commander, we must hold the line and defend against the Soviet advance. If they take Brighton Beach, it's a straight shot to London. All of Europe will fall. We cannot let that happen.
The Soviet Union is on Britain's doorstep. You must do everything possible to repel the incoming attack. Expect waves of Soviet forces to approach by airdrop. Unfortunately, we do not have heavy armor reinforcements at this time. You will need to find a way to complete this mission with the resources you already have. Good luck. Brighton Beach is under siege by Soviet forces. The city must be liberated so we can bolster our defenses against additional waves. We are mustering defenses. Please make do with these peacekeepers and attack dogs for now. New objective received.
And so, despite already being in England, we don't have access to any of our technology. Fair enough for an introduction mission. As you might expect, we have to go up the chain of command before we get access to bigger and better things. And because this is the first mission, you can also expect this to be rather easy.
Tactical unit.
Although, surprisingly, the end of this mission is kind of inverted, but we'll get there. It does make me wonder why exactly they follow this same sort of choreography. There's no real reason for the missions to
A unit is under attack.
essentially be another introduction to the game. I think by the time that this game came out originally, it's okay to have a campaign that immediately hits, you know, a 6 or a 7 on the difficulty standard or, you know, chart, and then ramp up from there.
Objective complete. This base will be your staging area against the incoming attack waves. You have been assigned a co-commander for this mission. You will aid in the defense of Great Britain.
Quite a mess this is. Name's Giles, Commander, and I'm not about to let these commies secure a foothold in our backyard. I'll be right at your side the entire time.
So Giles is our wingman. Pilot things.
Soviets are closing in with an airborne force. It looks like they're going to paradrop into the city. We cannot let them take Brighton Beach. You must hold them off.
New objective received.
time as always.
Insufficient funds.
How can I?
So unfortunately, this is a defensive mission on a timer with multiple waves. It's not particularly thrilling. Again, because it's an introductory mission, because it's the first one in the campaign, obviously they have to go somewhat slow, just to let the player acclimate and all that. But because there's nothing in the in-between moments, it does make it a little boring to play through. There's also absolutely no reason to garrison any of the buildings. Why? Well, conscripts have Molotov cocktails, and they're really good against infantry, or at least garrison structures. So why, why would you? You're just gonna lose all your troops. Don't do that. This campaign, getting about halfway into it, as I am currently, also makes me sort of reconsider the bonus objectives. It's kind of disappointing to go from Command & Conquer 3 to Red Alert 3, which is something I didn't really think I'd ever be talking about, but Red Alert 3 does not have any sort of intel department or lore building area in this game. All of the special unit videos that you could get by clicking on the question mark in the bottom right whenever you're selecting a specific unit or building is not available anywhere else in the game. There's no dictionary or encyclopedia you can refer to, which is unfortunate because there's a lot of things that this game could teach you about, especially with regards to the special commanding powers you have, maybe potential strategies, or just fleshing out the universe and discussing what exactly may have created the Empire of the Rising Sun, as an example. To the point where I just figure I'll just dance with my units, because you have to kill time.
Hello, capitalist dogs. I am General Krukov, the one who will bring you defeat today. Brace yourselves for the might of the Red Navy. We will pound your little island until you weep for mercy.
Things are going well, but I fear that was just their first wave. Take those gun emplacements on the beachhead to help repel any more attacks that might be coming.
Ready, sir. Where's the trouble?
For those curious, Eva's uniform does add 6 inches to her legs based on how everything is designed.
A Soviet naval force has been detected.
Now, as of time of recording, there have been some conversation about the timeline with regards to how it's a little unfortunate that this game just sort of resets the timeline.
Sending more, are they? Don't worry, I'm right behind you.
There's a world in which you could have the Soviet campaign happen, and then the Allies fight back, and then something happens with the Empire of the Rising Sun. After all, it's not like they haven't reset things at the beginning of a game, or done something to effectively make the prior game moot. Because of that, it just ends up being
Have your white flag ready, Commander?
bit of a missed opportunity with regards to the storytelling. Also, I don't recall if that's the same sort of sprite and artwork that existed in the original version of the game, but clearly the Brighton Beach artillery, they probably could have worked on the explosion effect a little bit more. It just looks strange when a unit is seemingly engulfed by a nuclear explosion, only to escape unscathed, or at least barely.
The Soviets are about to attack again, sir. Intel says this is the last wave, so hold your ground.
You are authorized.
Ultimately, the way to beat this level is to never build attack dogs. There's not much of a point. Go in on peacekeepers for quite a bit, maybe 20, 30 should be fine. And then just go on missile defenders. You don't need anything else. You also want to be careful about special abilities. You'll see how I will essentially have abused that fact in terms of generating numbers at the end of the stats pages. But the last wave does make it problematic for your rocket soldiers. To the point where if the AI is what you're relying on in order to beat the mission, then you will probably lose. So the final wave is a bunch of dreadnoughts as well as Kirov blimps. Now, the battleships, the dreadnoughts will get eliminated after a while, no matter what. The Kirovs, however, are a very big problem. And this is because the rocket soldiers have to, if using their special ability, lock onto a unit before they can shoot. And Kirovs move too fast, and they don't care. So, because of that, none of the rocket soldiers can ever truly lock on and shoot at the Kirovs before they, make it in. We can see perfectly how the AI does not know what to do, as they are simply trying to target enemy units. They can't. They shuffle, resets the timer, repeat ad nauseum. This makes it so that the AI is just incapable of defending against Kirovs. The Kirovs will essentially, float over you and blow you up. Even their unit, when it crashes down to Earth, will do enough damage to kill, I think, almost any unit. And it's a pretty big problem.
Our construction yard is under attack. Training.
That's it. Down, right now.
It's kind of a blessing that the AI on level 1 just doesn't have necessarily the smarts to go blow up your entire base, but they could.
Lost.
Luck seems to be on your side. My army is needed elsewhere at the moment. But don't get comfortable. I will be back. I don't mind.
Objective complete.
Like, Giles doesn't even really have a base anymore, so it kind of speaks to their uselessness.
You've done it. You've driven them back. Congratulations, Commander.
Right here.
I'm not sure if it's possible to lose to the Kirovs, like they might always get pulled away, but frankly I don't care to play this a second time. I do think the chart is funny though. And that's how you get 3,000 special abilities used, is just juggle the shield.